All right, family. All right, family. Listen to me. Listen to me. To my good Samaritans, to my Father's Wish Foundation, to my Edward Martins, class of 1993, in our Haiti first responder search and rescue mission. Andre McDonald, It's from the Soul, and our Philadelphia first and last responders rescue mission. My cousin Marlon Webb, you've been coming out to Chicago, and we've been both going back and forth in our various first and last responders rescue mission. Vince Webb, same thing. Dollar Bill Hackett, same thing. The reason we put in all of this work, the reason that we've sold all of these abundant life insurance policies. First of all, let me tell you, Maurice Webb and I have been long overdue of opening up a store. You need me? Huh? Here I come. Maurice Webb and I used to sell clothes on Spring Street when Dollar Bill was cutting hair out the barbershop. Me and Reese. Me and Reese used to go load up my grandma's car and come back all up and down Spring Street. We've been hustling. We've been selling. We've been breaking bread. But in this next phase, in this next chapter, this is our first foray into abundant life insurance policies. Because I'm here. Because of Maurice Webb and Kels Webb and Kanisha Leggett, who spoke life. And now I got one of my sons, 22-year-old, who just got shot up in Chicago, Illinois. The bedrock of our Good Samaritan, first and last responders. He has a guaranteed abundant life insurance policy. Guaranteed. What that means is, whenever anything happens to these individuals, we have guaranteed that we will be first responders, curing violence. We stepped out in the streets and said we're going to break cycles so that these babies could come up in these streets and not have to deal with the negative cycles that we had to swim through or wade through. We said we was going to do that. And an organization in Chicago said, yo, we down with that. We're going to be the Good Samaritans. We're going, instead of doing it from the public view, we're going to do it from the spiritual view, the biblical view. The Messiah came as the Good Samaritan. He was from Samaria. So we got the public view to break the cycle, and then we got the Good Samaritan view, the physical and the spiritual. And we sold life insurance policies, abundant life insurance policies, and these children signed up. So what's supposed to happen? What's supposed to happen when you pay your car insurance all of these years and then you get into a car accident? What's supposed to happen? The abundant life insurance policy that we sold to his mother and his father, supposed to be ironclad. The only way it's not ironclad is if our people are no longer. If new people are no longer seeking to break the cycle, if new people are no longer signing up to break the cycle and be Good Samaritans, then when new policies are when new policies are created, when new people say, yo, I no longer want to accept this. I no longer want to accept this crime and violence. I no longer want to accept my other nephew, 18 shots into his car, William Thel Hunter Jr., 18 shots at him. 3 of the shots hit him. If collectively, all of the people that I named, we have physically put together organizations and we have physically worked together to say we will not stand for this cycle of crime and violence in our neighborhoods will stop. And the only way it keeps perpetuating if the individuals around us are not signing up, because when this happens, we going. When these mamas, babies get traumatized, we showing up. And when my life was on the line, Maurice Webb, while all of y'all got loved ones who's sitting down and hunkering down and accepting, let me tell you what my loved ones did. Let me tell you what my loved ones did when my life was on the line. While y'all all sitting back accepting what the status quo tells you, let me tell you what my loved ones did. I'm going to tell you a testimony about other individuals outside of me. See, when individuals sign up, when individuals put more value on your life than the media spin that they spitting out the TV, when the people around you put more value on your life than a Center for Disease Control and a World Health Organization and a Dr. Fauci and a Joe Biden, when the individuals around you put more value on your life, it don't matter what a hospital staff say. It don't matter what a doctor ain't never seen. Y'all steadily telling me about what the scientists have said. The scientists ain't never been right. Let me tell you what Maurice Webb said. What Maurice Webb said when he seen me faint and then vomit up pints of blood in his car. He said, I don't care what a stop sign say. I don't care what a red light say. I know a red light says you're supposed to stop. Maurice Webb said, when you put more value on the life than what the fraternal order of police want you to believe, that they got a police state and they can control you on the plantations of the U.S. Maurice Webb said, I don't care what a red light say. I don't care what a police officer say when I walk into the emergency room. While y'all all sitting back, all of y'all sitting back, letting them feed you a narrative. Let them feed you a narrative. And while y'all all sitting back in fear, let me tell you what my loved one said. When the medical establishment said, it's no way in the world he could live. When the individuals at the hospital say, yo, there's a order that of how we see patients. You got to sit down in the waiting room. Ain't no waiting room. You got to sit down and you got to fill out some forms. Ain't no filling out forms. You got to, when a police officer tell you, sir, you can't go back there, you're supposed to stop. When someone puts more value on your life than the spin that they spinning on you, then you will always have abundant life. That's what we call a Hav-Life insurance policy. And when your wife, who's not there in Trenton, New Jersey, who all the way down in Orlando, Florida, and when the doctor does a CAT scan and he sees so much blood on the stomach and he says there's no way that he lost that much blood, that even if I take him up there and do a surgery, he will never survive it. And he tells that to when the doctors say what they say, an abundant life insurance policy, first and last responder says, I came that you might have life and have it abundantly. I give you permission to save his life, and I expect you to do it. More importantly, I'm holding you accountable because when I get there, I expect his life to be saved. When I buy this ticket and get on the plane from Florida, when I land in Trenton, New Jersey, and I come to the hospital, I expect my husband's life to be saved. I give you permission to do that, and I'm holding you accountable. You let known individuals who practice demonology and witchcraft and sorcery and soothsaying, and you let known individuals tell you, well, science says this and science says that. You let known individuals who have no thought or no care for life walk up and down the street and shoot and maim and kill, and you have no response. You simply saying, yo, there's no response that you're supposed to get from me. I just got to put my head down and okay. So to all of my people out there, tonight I'm going to show y'all. See, God does everything decently and in order. And God cleans house decently and in order. When things are the way that they are right now, there's a specific order of how to restore abundant life. And it starts with the new people who desire to respond properly, to sign up like the Good Samaritans did and put your money where the Good Samaritans' money mouth did, so that we can go and intervene on those who have already put in the work in Chicago. For 20 years, Tanya and Jervis have saved countless individuals that we went into the streets. They fed these boys. They got these boys off of drugs. They got these. Listen, if anybody's child is not supposed to be in the crosshairs of death, if anybody's child who's supposed to have an abundant life insurance policy, and the only reason the cycle breaks down is when our people have settled for servitude. See, when you have a steady supply of individuals saying, sign me up for an abundant life insurance policy, where can I get in? Tonight, we're going to show you what the order is. We're going to show you. We're going to show you how to put your things in order. The same way the Good Samaritans did when we came just with our idea of how we could go and take back the streets. Each and every member decided what they wanted to give. It didn't matter what they gave. Because when Pepe gave what Pepe could give, and when Jervis gave what Jervis could give, and when Uncle Anthony gave what Uncle Anthony could give, and when me and Kanisha gave what we could give, and when Nellie Pooh gave what she could give, and then when Alicia and Jervis gave what they could give, Alicia and Laverne gave what they could give, and Chantel and Ephraim gave what they could give. It didn't matter what the individual gave. What mattered was the sum that we invested. And there is a residual income that comes off of. But if our family members, if we get divided, and if we never come together and pool, what I'm going to show you is the order that God has given us on earth to pool the resources that he called the golden talents. I'm going to show you the everlasting abundant life insurance policy guarantee. That will allow us to cure violence. I'm talking about zero tolerance for crime and violence in our nation and in our world, period. I'm going to show you the blueprint that the Most High has given us. He said decently and in order. So when chaos is going on, it's saying that God's children have lost control. Babylon is the kingdom of chaos. So whenever there's chaos, that means God's children are following and not leading. And there is a specific process that I'm going to show y'all tonight. and he called it the living water. When the woman at the well had lost control of her life, when the children of Israel had lost control of their life in Egypt, and then they came and worshiped the golden calf, and they was going to have to wander in the desert for 40 years. It's a long time to wander in the desert without water. I'm telling you, there is a blueprint for the children of Israel for the 40 years in the wilderness, for the woman who had lost control of her life, and she had gone through 5 different husbands, and she was still being prostituted on the 5th husband. There is a specific order on how you can take control of your life and flip that thing and go from desert to living waters. How much would you Zelle to have access to the living well? How much would you Zelle when you're dealing with the woman with the issue of a plastic ocean and it's deserts everywhere? You're dealing with the woman, the Statue of Liberty. You're dealing with the woman, Europa, from the east to the west. The women that they claim you get your citizenship through, they all have the issue of a plastic ocean, and they're women with the issue of blood. That's why they have a plastic ocean. A plastic ocean means it's a drought. Nothing can grow without rain. And there's a regular rain, then there's an acid rain, then there's a hellfire rain, and then there's a purple rain. And there is an order, and there is a script to get each and every one of those rain showers. There is a very specific order that you have to have. And when you are carrying and when you have that uniform on, you will receive the hellfire rain. There's a specific order and behavior that you will engage in business-wise. And it says the whole of nature groans with pains of childbirth, waiting for the sons of God to be revealed, because the bastards of the party are destroying the climate. And then when you do that, you get acid rain. And the very individuals causing the acid rain, they have no solution for it. They're only going to make it worse. You got acid rain, you got hellfire rain. You had the former rain. Then you got the purple rain. What's the former rain? The former rain was go into the upper room and sit down in the upper room. God said, just like the children of Israel walked through the desert for 40 days, y'all gonna have to sit in the upper room for 40 days and 40 nights and thirst after righteousness. And when you finish hungering and thirsting after righteousness, I'm gonna pour you out the first rain. Now it's time for the last rain. He poured out the alpha rain. Now it's time for the omega rain, the purple rain. But you got to have your golden talents in order. Those who bury their talents in the sand, those who have fumbled their talents, you lose control of your life and you settle for servitude. When you have doubled your talents, it's a very specific financial blueprint. How to take control and have abundant life. To cure poverty, cure crime and violence, heal your land, and spiritually have the outpouring of the omega purple rain. So I'm gonna come back and show y'all how to do that. And then all y'all gotta do is ask me, how do I get a policy? That's what the woman at the well, that's what he took her through. He told her, listen, if you knew, September 20th through the 27th. This is the only time this year where we are opening up the abundant life insurance policy. They going on sale 7 days. If you're not there, if you're not in the right spot, 7 days and 7 days only. Same way we created and launched the Good Samaritans and all of the policies. that we're going to honor right now today. Jervis and Tanya, we coming. Listen, my wife has the ability. My wife tapped into the ability. So when God said, I wish above all things that you prosper, be in health, even as your soul spiritually prospers. Four components. My wife knew how to cover me when I couldn't cover myself. The abundant life insurance policy is guaranteed by the spirit that teaches you how to cover your loved one, like Zipporah covered Moses when they can't cover themselves. The abundant life insurance policy is when other individuals cover you when you can't cover yourself. See, when somebody's attacking you, you need somebody to attack the attacker. Our first and last responders, it's the only abundant life insurance policy of its kind. And if you don't have abundant life, September the 20th through the 27th, you got to pre-order. You got to pre-purchase it. We're going to give you the blueprint of how to launch the policy. And then you got to maintain the policy. We're going to begin the process of teaching you how to manage the abundant life insurance policy. You got to purchase it in order to be invited for the training for those who have taken out a policy. I'll show it to you tonight. No more of our babies will fall victim. And if y'all cool with the crime and violence in your communities, if y'all cool with people playing with y'all health, if y'all cool with your land not being healed, if y'all cool with, he said, I am the Lord God that healeth thee. If y'all cool with not having access to the master physician that healeth his people, then we just gonna go on with the abundant life insurance policies that we got. And we're gonna keep our word, and we're gonna make good on what we've done, and we're gonna just move on. Listen, but today and tomorrow, I'm gonna give y'all access to open up your 2021 policy. Because you know what? In 2022, you're gonna need a life insurance policy. They just getting started with y'all. In 2022, if you think 2020 and 2021, listen, what they're about to do to y'all in 2022, and if you think you're gonna rely on your on your police who serve and protect the individuals who killing you, if you believe you're gonna serve and protect your military who bringing terrorists to your country right now from Afghanistan, who believe that no matter what, when they walk down the street, you supposed to follow their religion. Listen, man, this ain't new. This is how they took the lands in the first place. This is exactly how they took the lands in the first place from our ancestors. The Catholics and the Protestants were warring in Europe, and they came to the United States of America. And they said, either you're going to join the Catholics, and then when people of color, stupid, got baptized as a Catholic, and then when the Protestant came, the same English, British niggas that was killing each other in England, they killed whoever was a Catholic in the United States of America, they killed them dead. Then people of color started getting baptized as a Protestant, and then the Catholics would come back. Catholics would come back, be like, yo, that's a violation to God's law. They did a holy war in they did the Crusades in the United States. The most untalked about story ever is how the Catholics and the Protestants that got on boats, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, came to the United States of America and had people of color running back and forth from baptismal pool to baptismal pool. And no matter what you did, somebody else came up to your compound and raided it and said, you ain't following the true God. And then they killed you and took your land. Huh? That's what they're about to do to you in 2022 and 20 and beyond. They bringing them individuals from Afghanistan, and okay, and Pope Francis is running around here with Joe Biden talking about we all are Roman Catholics. The two most murdering, assassinating, religious, fake, phony, Satan worshiping, all of them niggas is Vikings. Talking about they got heritage in Abraham. All of them niggas come from, listen, every Catholic, every single shrine that they worship in, and they call it a mosque. It is a shrine to Valhalla. The god that they're worshiping is Odin. So when these clowns come talking to you about they fake laws, they talking to you about a German idol. Thor is the god of the Middle East. So before they come playing these charades, Jupiter is the god of Roman Catholicism, okay? All right? So before they come back playing with y'all, let me tell y'all how y'all supposed to respond. The Pope worships the sun god Jupiter. The people calling themselves Muslims, they worship the sun god. Valhalla is what they call heaven. If you take it's a vow to Allah. Valhalla, heaven, a vow to Allah. Odin is the god of the Middle East. So when they come to do the crusades again, talking about their holy and righteous men, just letting you know what we gonna tell them. Same thing that Paul told them when he went to these same Germans. But see, all of y'all masses, y'all get manipulated by these Germans who are faking like, oh, the Middle East was a wasteland. Our people left the trash to hermits. And they went down there and they resurrected, they created new brand names for their Bohemian Grove worship of Viking gods. So when anybody comes telling you they got these books and they got these prophets, but they can't get past 600 with their history, because before 600 they was being identified as Vikings. They can't go past 500 AD with their history, and they supposed to be holy spiritual leaders. Why? Because in 400 and 300 and 100 they was known as Vikings. Huh? I'm just letting y'all know, because the death decree done already went out. You think the blood is spilling in the streets already? The only way to make it reverse is for all of God's people to come on one accord and stop being divided and conquered by all of these fake imposter folds of faith. They all came from the Roman Catholics who worship Jupiter. So when you all get back to the base, the rock, he said, listen, the cornerstone that the builders rejected has become the capstone. Huh? He said they done taught y'all to reject the real foundation. He said, he that builds his house on a rock will be fruitful and multiply. But he that builds his house on the sand, it's going to look like the Middle East do. And it's full of churches. But how's they? Listen, he told you, those that build their house on the sand, they don't worship me. So anybody living in a place that's a barren wasteland for thousands of years, and then they want to try and talk about they holy. So then let's go back to the root. Take me to the root of your holiness, please. Can you take me back to the rock? Can you show me that you built your holiness on the rock and not on sand? And when you take the Catholics through it, the Catholics can't go past 300 AD because they was pagan Roman Caesars worshiping the same gods. When you make these fake holy so-called shaman take you to the rock that the word already told you they're going to They listen. The cornerstone that the builders. So these individuals call themselves brick masons. God was specifically talking about these Shriners, these secret society, the cornerstone that the build. Every time they lay a building, they lay the brick masonically. They are brick masons. They go through a ritual to do just what the word of God said they was going to do. They're going to reject the cornerstone and they're going to build on sand. And every building that they build, every shrine, every temple, every cathedral, every mosque, every church, they go through a process of rejecting the cornerstone, and they build the place where you worship at masonically, and already introduce the curse, because you ain't supposed to be following niggas, you're supposed to be leading them. So what's that called? Divide and conquer. The end justifies the means. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. So they'll lie to you and tell you, oh, you holy and righteous. If we can divide you and split you up in thousands of little factions, and then when our little minority just sticks together no matter what, because we divided you across all of these different folds of faith, you don't have the power to overthrow us, even though we are the super minority, because we stuck together and you allowed yourself to be divided. I've never seen a team that I played on have individuals who want to run this play and run that play who won. I've never seen a team. I've never seen a team. And spiritually, your spiritual worship team that you claim that you play for, it cannot win when you are not the head. And the only reason you're not the head is because you've been divided. If you do not control your destiny spiritually, that is not of the creator, because the creator has dominion over heaven and earth. If you don't have dominion over heaven and earth, if you don't have dominion and you're going out and coming in, you've been divided. And this is your last chance to come together. Because if you still divided, John chapter 10 tells you the wolf is going to come to each and every fold that he has divided, and he's going to devour those who are still in the fold. John chapter 10 is talking about this time right now, and the wolf is barreling down on y'all. And some wolves have shot my little nephew, and we drawing a line in the sand. So for all of y'all who want to get on this team and push back every violent wave, every false prophet, every dragon, every beast, every false prophet, every mystery Babylon, mother of harlot, false doctrine, teaching, faith, that's where you got to be to get abundant life. You can't be in the fold, loving the traditions of the fold, and push back on the fold. You got a choice to make. Settle for servitude or abundant life. And you got to be all in. Understand? All right. Come get it.